Did you enjoy that anime intro that may or may not have been there? If not, oh well, some other time, I guess.
If it's not for this one,
So you didn't work on it at all then?
well, it'll be at some point. Like I don't know when. Like maybe it should just be like it probably shouldn't even be every episode. We'll just do it.
I haven't even worked on the new intro yet, but I probably will have to. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to for this one.
Well, I mean, if you give me a week, I'll let you know.
That is if you want to do it for this one.
I kind of do want to do it. I don't know. Like I said,
doesn't matter, but yeah.
I'm almost considering putting stuff into the intro that may have not happened in the lore yet. So I don't know if you want to play it in the first one. By the way, this season of DuckCast is going to be story driven. Oh. And it connects with all of the lore of the previous season. So go back and watch all 80 episodes of DuckCast. If you've already seen them, that's fine. But just to be safe, rewatch all 80 of them, just so you don't miss out on any of the details. A lot of
also, we gotta say this one line for the title of the video, just to at least say it once in this episode. The road to 100. That's a big one for this season.
Yeah,
it's a big milestone that we're reaching toward.
I sent Zach a text. I think it was actually it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, asking him if you even still wanted to do the show anymore. And I said that with the context we would still do Mackle and Zach. I was just genuinely curious because it's something we hadn't talked about. And you still were super interested, and I was. I definitely at the very least wanted to go to 100, but I think we'll probably go on after 100. But 100 will be a big one. Mm-hmm. It is amazing that we have dedicated that much time.
We have to pretend that we actually know what we're doing for the 100th, even though we secretly have no idea how to pull it off.
I kind of wanted to do what we did for the season 1 finale, which I understand we can't keep doing for every finale because of how much work it was on your end, how much space it took up on your end.
The only other one after this that we would do that again is for 1,000, which honestly would never.
What about 500? What about 500? Which we also probably won't get to. There's a show I listen to occasionally called the Drunken Peasants Podcast, and I only listen to them if they have a guest that I like. I like the 3 people who do it okay. They're not enough to...
Speaking of being drunk, was the last season, opener, you drunk? Because usually, I remember the second season, maybe the third season, you were drunk for the first episode of that. I don't remember if we did the last one, or we skipped third and then did it on the fourth. I forget, but I guess we're skipping that for this one. Yeah.
I think the first drunk cast ever was episode 21 because I also turned 21. It was a fun little thing to do. That, yeah. And then after that, it just started becoming whenever I wanted to drink on the show, I would. I'm trying to cut back on that. There'll definitely be a drunk cast at some point in the season, but I do listen back to those episodes. It's not just the drunk cast, but I find so many of those impossible. And I feel like anyone would find listening to them ramble, drunken ramble would be intolerable for them. So if anyone else
there's definitely a crowd for that, though. There sure is.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, is that we don't have a crowd ourselves, so we go into so many different areas. Honestly, we kind of pander to everyone. It doesn't really matter, I don't think.
Yeah.
But until there is actually this vocal crowd, I guess, then we'll know for sure what we're good at. What we're good at talking about. But yeah, so what do you want to talk about first, unless if you want to go to my thing, which we could do for a whole episode, but unless if you have something important that you do want to bring up, since it has been a while since we've done this.
I did want to have one topic. Let's just do it real quick, just because I feel like yours is going to go on longer.
It might.
Based on what you're saying. Have you... This could go on 1 minute if you haven't seen any of them or have nothing to say about them. Do you know about any of the Nickelodeon movie reboots they've been doing? Not even reboots, continuations they've been doing.
I saw a trailer of the new Invader Sim thing on IGN's YouTube
That's out tonight, by the way. I think 3 a.m. it'll be out on Netflix.
Oh, really? Nice. Oh, I didn't even see the release date. I thought it was way later this year or something. I don't know. That's cool though. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And by the time this episode's out, I'm gonna already see it probably. Yeah. Awesome.
It's the 16th, and since we're on the east side, we will be getting it. We'll be getting it at 3 a.m. because West Side gets it at 12 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
that's neat though.
And the reason I brought that up is because I just gotta actually give Nickelodeon some credit here, because I've only watched the Rocco special that came out, and I loved the Rocco special. By the way, I watched Rocco as a kid. I didn't really watch Hey Arnold, and I loved Invader Zim, so I skipped the Hey Arnold movie. I'm gonna watch the Invader Zim one once it's out.
I never
Probably not
saw
tonight, 'cause
Rocko's Modern Life as a kid, and after so many, people saying it was a great show, I kind of regret. I feel like I missed out on a bit of my childhood
I
there,
feel like,
but it must have been a great
honest,
show. Yeah.
here's what I'll say about it. Like, okay, so I loved it as a kid. I honest to God had no idea how to follow it. I don't think I've ever talked about it. Like, maybe I have briefly. I thought it was a weird, obscure show. I really like it until I got older. I didn't realize how much people liked it. I mean, I know it was on Nickelodeon, but I thought it was like the least beloved Nickelodeon show. But I watched it a bunch as a kid, and then I watched Static Cling, the new movie, which is actually not even a movie. It's a 45-minute special, which at first I was disappointed with because of the wait, but then it did not need to be any longer than 45 minutes. They like completely nailed it. But the special like really brought it back for me. I have not like that is not a show I revisited since childhood. I never watched it again, and I could just tell like watching it. This is what this show was. It got it down perfectly. Like it was 100% that old show, and it's like God. I rewatched a bunch of old episodes after that. And I think it's better as an adult now. Like, it's such a weird show. Like, a lot of people, when it was coming out, like, there was a big question with, like, parents saying, is this even a kid's show? Is this something that's appropriate to be put on television?
Did
and
they have some, like, really graphic animations on their show, too? Kind of like the later episodes of SpongeBob with the veiny stuff, like, possibly, for a kid's show.
Yeah,
in the 90s. Did they have
they
stuff
did
like
a lot of... They did a lot of gross out.
Yeah.
The thing about there was just episodes that covered like kind of depressing topics. It wasn't just like they made a lot of dick jokes on the show. They had a lot of innuendos. Really? There's like an episode. One of the most infamous moments is there's an episode where Rocco's working on a sex line, and one of the other characters calls him, and then it's really embarrassing for both of them. And they don't flat out say it, but Rocco's on the phone saying, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby." Then someone's like, "Rocco." And then he's like, Mrs. Bighead, and that's really awkward.
That's so crazy to think about, like, Nickelodeon in the 90s allowed stuff like that. Like, it's kind of... I'm imagining, like, kids at this point in time, like, hearing something like that, they would never believe it. With stuff like, the sitcoms that we get nowadays, and then you go flashback, like, just a 2 decades later, before.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
It wasn't always just, like, jokes like that, though. There's, like, sometimes where it was just kind of heavy... heavy stuff. Like the new special covers something that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I should say what. I guess I won't, just because it's still new and someone listening to this may have not seen it yet. But it's there's an episode. I rewatched this one so I can confirm this isn't just my childhood memory. That's like a fabricated one. There's an episode where it's like one of the main characters, Heifer. He's really fat. And he's watching like a news report where they're saying if you eat, studies are showing that if you eat this certain snack, it's a snack in the show, I forget the name of it, it'll, you can like, so-and-so can happen to you. And meanwhile, while he's watching, he's eating that. And then he says, but don't worry, it'll only happen if you eat, like, and then he names some really large number of packs of them. And then it just like pans out and they're all over his house. Packs, yeah. And then he just fucking collapses on the ground. And it's like a really slow scene. He has like a fucking on-screen heart attack. And then it cuts to him in the hospital, and all the characters are like sharing memories they had with him.
Jesus. I may be remembering this wrong, but like I was like looking in the our other server's chat or something, because I haven't been on Discord in a while, and I think you were talking about Rocko's Modern Life with Tim and Matt, or Matt, something like that.
On the Channel Awesome discussion page, which is what we named our group chat.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't think you're on that. So maybe we did it on the server. I did. Yeah. Me and Tim and Matt were talking about Rocko's Modern Life. Again, I could be wrong. I
think earlier, too, I was scrolling through Netflix and I saw that Rocko's Modern Life thing at some point.
Yeah,
so maybe...
which is weird because they don't have the show, by the way. They only have the movie.
I thought it was the show, and then I saw 45 minutes. I'm like, that's not right. The entire show can't be that long. That's actually impossible. But yeah.
I'm not surprised they didn't air this on television, honestly. They went pretty far with it, too. Like, and they cover something that a lot of kids shows will cover now, but I'm wondering if Nickelodeon would let them be that black and white about it. It's not something that it's not something they should be afraid to talk about, but it's something that a lot of networks are. I don't know if that gave too much away already, but there's a couple things that could be. But what the reason I have to give Nickelodeon a lot of credit is, like, with a lot of people bringing back shows, like Cartoon Network's doing it a lot, and I don't give a shit because it's like, it's kid shit. I don't care if they bring back Powerpuff Girls or Teen Titans and people don't like it as much as they did back then. But a lot of people do that, and it just kind of seems like they're just reusing old material. With Nickelodeon, Invader Zim and Hey Arnold were two shows that did not get proper conclusions. And the whole point of Rocko's Modern Life is to tell people to move on already. Like, the whole special's about change, which is perfect for that show because it was a show about, like, modern life, and now it's adapted. And the only problem with the special is because they have to, like, kind of catch up on everything over the last 20 years. They make a joke about so many things that have already had jokes made about them. Like, they're making fun of, like, energy drinks. They're making fun of phones. They're making fun of Zack Snyder films. And it's like, yeah, I get it. It's Rocko's Modern Life. That's what they did, but you're kind of the last to every single one of these jokes. But they do it within like 3 minutes and then they're done.
Mm.
And the rest of it's really good. So I really love that. I can't recommend it if you haven't seen it. I mean, honestly, I think you could enjoy it if you haven't seen the show. There's a few episodes I think would help, though, to watch. It actually does, like, there's a lot of references, but almost every single cameo character is reserved for, like, in the background of a scene, which works really well for it. They definitely tried to make it stand alone while also appealing to long fans of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, rewatching those episodes, it's great. Honestly, I'd recommend the show. And then if you want to watch the special, the sad thing with Rocko is it had 52 episodes, and even though it was still a successful show, the network back then was like, okay, 52 episodes, so we can run one episode a week, and okay, we're good. We don't need you to make anymore. And that's why it got canceled, which is a stupid reason to get canceled. But hey,
the Invader Sim thing, I'm excited for too. I wasn't like the biggest fan or anything of the show, but I did watch it a good bit, and I remember seeing the trailer today for it, and it brought back so many memories. Even like the whole voice cast being back, and like the robot too, just sounding exactly how he should. Even in the line that he was given to put in the trailer, there, I don't know. It's just something he would totally say, and even though I wasn't a huge fan of the show, I still got this big grin on my face. I am genuinely excited to watch it. I feel like Invader Zim is like, maybe most kids were like that, like me, where they might not have been the biggest fans, but like it's like in the back of their heads from their childhood, and they could really appreciate it. And just seeing something like that done today, done perfectly. I saw like a comment or two about the animation being a bit off, and I didn't notice it at all. I thought it looked exactly the same as it did in the 90s. I don't know about you, but
it looks I think the color scheme looks a little bit different, but I don't have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. I think it looks very nice.
But
I think
it's
it actually
very nostalgic feeling of it, and
it is.
And quality wise, it's top notch still, just as it was. It's like copy and paste exact, and yet it's new and refreshing, which is it's always great to have a franchise come back and feel like they never left. It's hard to do that with any franchise.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is also, this is just responding to what you said before, it is also Invader Zim with movie quality. So yes, it's going to look a little different. The SpongeBob movie looked different than the show because the animation they can put more into the animation now. They can spend more time on drawing everything. Mm-hmm. And they can spend more time on color. They can spend more time on shading. They can just do a lot more with the art. So that's why Invader Zim looks a little different. It doesn't look much. I noticed like very, very minor differences with like color scheme and all of that. And again, I think it actually looks better than the show, though.
You might have answered this before earlier. I'm both unsure and I forget. Did you say that this Invader Zim movie is to conclude the entire series because it didn't get any? Is this like going to be the conclusion, or is this just another,
I mean, I don't know.
Thing, but without an ending? I don't know.
What I'm saying, I don't know. Like, what I'm saying, though, is that they're not just shamefully bringing stuff back for nostalgia purposes, because, again, Rocko actually felt like it had a purpose to come back for that special. And I don't know if they will do more. I think Rocko is actually a show that could pull it off because of what it is. It would just be able to make fun of society now instead of society 20 years ago. But something like Invader Zim, I don't really know what they're planning on doing. I'm just saying Invader Zim having some sort of...
The only way that I can see that they have purpose is to end off what they were working on and then had to stop.
Hey Arnold did.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold didn't, and Invader Zim didn't even get to finish its second season, So I feel like it's just justified. You got the same people on. I didn't watch the Hey Arnold movie because I didn't. I watched it as a kid, but I didn't really follow the story, and it was something where you actually needed to understand the lore of everything, and I wasn't about to. I wasn't about to watch every Hey Arnold episode.
I also have a thought here, for the big Invader Zim fans, do you think a movie is enough to not only say, hey, good to see you again, audience, but also to conclude everything, and maybe could it have been better if it was a short miniseries with enough, time length episodes to really tell what they wanted to for the last, for the finale.
It's
or is a movie fitting enough runtime for that?
I understand that because I had that same concern. The only thing, it's a little bit complicated with Invader Zim because it came back as a comic, continuing the storyline from the TV show years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that comic is still running. And there may even be a chance, I don't know this for sure. I read the first comic of Invader Zim. I only read the first one because I think they put it online for free, and then the rest of them you had to pay for. I read the first Invader Zim comic. And I actually think there's some scenes from this movie that are directly being taken from that comic. So this movie might serve as the first few issues of the comic, and then it says, okay, just keep reading the comic to keep going along. But we brought you back. We brought back the voice actors and brought you some animation just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless, I think it's cool. I don't know if the movie will go in a different direction. The comics, the two canons will kind of split, or if they're going to do more of the show, or if they're eventually going to adapt the entire comic into the show. I have no idea what they're planning on doing, but I know the comic exists. I think the comic is still going on, and it looks like some of the movie, at least, if not all of it, is going to be taking a lot of stuff from the comics. There's the shot of Dib in a chair where he looks really really chubby and beat up and just gross looking, and I know for a fact that was a frame from that comic I read.
Yeah. On one hand, I think of the idea is good, but are they going to execute it, or are they showing the best clips that they can in this trailer? But then at the same time, why would they do it now and take this long to do it if they weren't confident that it was a quality product? So I feel like they know what they're doing, and I feel like the stuff that they put in the trailer is definitely, they're hyping us up and they know it's going to be good. So yeah.
Keep in mind that both the projects were delayed from Aaron as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rocco Invader Zim have been done for quite some time now, and Nickelodeon only aired Hey Arnold. And I think the big problem there is that Hey Arnold was, again, a show that wasn't always story-driven but had an overarching story, and this movie was something to conclude the show with. So many kids who watch Nickelodeon now didn't watch that movie, so they just decided to give the other two to Netflix. Mm-hmm. That's a possibility. That's just a theory. That's just speculation. But the Jungle movie, which was the funny thing about the Jungle movie is I'm not the biggest follower of Hey Arnold, but that is the movie they wanted to make years ago, and then studios just said, no, you're going to make a spy movie, and that's what the Hey Arnold movie was. And they finally got to make the movie they wanted all these years later. But I know fans of Hey Arnold loved the Jungle movie. And as a Rocco's Modern Life fan, I can say I loved it. A bunch of people on Twitter were tweeting about it. I know Hot Diggity Demon is a huge fan of it, and even he was saying it was great. And yeah, Rocco satisfied. So Hey Arnold and Rocco satisfied the fans. Invader Zim has the same people working on it, I'm sure. They've at least they're 2 to 3 right now. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they can be 3 to 3, I guess, tomorrow. But yeah, that's really all I had to say. I just want to give praise where praise is due because, again, I'm not going to shit on the Cartoon Network shit because, one, Samurai Jack, though I think that's because of Adult Swim and not actually Cartoon Network. But I don't really care about. I'm not someone who gets worked up about that stuff. In fact, I've actually seen some Teen Titans Go that's made me laugh before. But it does definitely seem okay, this is a property we can do something with it, rather than this is a beloved property we have. Let's try to do something. Let's have a reason to bring it back and do something good with it.
The only time I remember, and I'm talking about original cartoons, because they keep bringing these things back because their current ones aren't that great, obviously, is the reason. But like,
There's plenty of good ones though now. Like,
I can't think of one. The only time I remember being excited about an animated show as an adult, and because I heard from you guys that were praising it, was Gravity Falls. And I have not heard any about another good series, animated series, since then. And I'm not even that big on animated shows. Gravity Falls is the only one as an adult that I really, really like. And then the stuff from the 90s, like Dexter's Laboratory and whatnot, I enjoyed, and they are good for their time and good to watch as an adult even. But the current stuff, the new stuff that they make, new kinds of shows, they're last
well,
thing
what
I can
about
remember Chowder, but that's not really that many great memories. It's just
I didn't love
just a
Chowder,
show.
but a lot of people
It was like
did.
that transitional period for me of like growing out of shows like that or
A
anime.
lot of
shows in general.
people. Well, what about adult animation for you?
I don't know. I mean, adult animation, Family Guy, sure. American Dad, Futurama, you know, it's like. What can
I
you
like
say?
Disenchantment right now, though freaking Matt Groening apparently is showing up in some documents, so we'll see where that
I have
goes.
no idea the context, but it sounds really bad. It sounds really, really bad.
There's been some stuff going on about a certain island, and Matt Groening may have attended that island. I don't know. We'll see.
Huh?
We'll see. Do you not know what's going on
No.
with like Epstein, or I hope I'm
No.
saying his name right. I'm a retarded person, so I don't know.
That's not cool. You can't say that word. That's the biggest offense you've said. I'm
I'm not going to talk about something that I don't know that much about. I probably should. I mean, I know a decent bit about it, but it's not a good conversation.
At one side, it sounded like something on the lines of rape or pedophilia, and then you're saying islands, and I'm like, okay, I'm completely lost now. The word islands, like, are these stranded people in this? I don't know.
Matt Groening's being accused of some shady shit, and I love a lot of his stuff, so I hope it's not true, but it's probably true. Anyway, yeah, but I guess that's not everyone else who worked on Disenchantment's fault. And then there's also fucking what was I gonna say? Okay, I like Bob's Burgers, BoJack, Rick and Morty. There's good stuff out there.
Yeah, it's just I like those shows. Okay, I guess it's just. I'm looking for more story-driven, serialized stories, and rather than just like a one-off kind of show, which those kind of shows are fine if you're the kind of audience for them. But like what I'm looking for, it's not. I'm like reaching out, and there's just nothing pulling me in really, except for
right now,
and that ended pretty shortly.
Yeah, right now the only live-action shows I'm into are. Better Call Saul and Ozark. Mr. Robot looks interesting. I've only seen.
I think they said they're close to finishing with Better Call Saul. They're close to finishing season 5, right?
Yeah,
now.
2020 still, but maybe it'll be January 2020.
Yeah, since it's a television show, it should be spring, at the earliest. I wouldn't say January, but maybe.
It could be. I don't know when they're going to release it. They've got to like consider when the best time for them to release it's going to be too. But I hope it comes back. Let's move on to your topic.
I was gonna say I watched. We've had a long break in between the seasons, so I had a lot of time to watch a certain show, and I saw the entirety of Black Mirror, with the exception of the interactive one. I haven't seen that yet, but I saw from like earlier seasons to the more recent ones, and I'm all.
We can only talk about some of them.
Why not? Why some of them?
Because I haven't seen all of them.
Really? I thought you have.
No, I mean I think I mentioned maybe 3 I've seen.
What I have to say in general of the whole thing, I mean, they're all very enjoyable. Not a single one I was like, oh, this is god awful. Maybe some people could say about it.
You like the newest season?
I heard about this afterwards. Apparently, some people didn't like the 5th season. I find it okay. I enjoyed the 5th season's episodes. I personally really liked the Ashley 2 one. It was a fun episode, man. It was kind of like a parody of like all the stuff you watched as like the Disney Channel original movies as a kid, but in a more adult way with this little Ashley 2 cursing at the girls. It's great. It's a fun time. And then the one with the guy in the car, the actor from Sherlock who played Moriarty. I only knew him from Sherlock, and I thought he was really great in this one. The character was fantastic, and his motivations were really fun to find out about later on in the episode.
Yeah, if you want to talk about more of them, feel free to. Just try to keep it spoiler free.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen 3, Bandersnatch included, which is unfortunate because that's one you haven't seen. I also saw the one where it's like, I forget what the name of it was, but it's the one guy from, he was in Black Panther and Get Out. He's basically going on to like a talent show.
That's season one with yeah, in the room and the screens, everything. Yeah, that was a good.
The treadmills basically, or the bikes.
That one wasn't my favorite of the first season. The very first Black Mirror episode I saw, you probably didn't see it. It was the one where people have these chips in their minds and they can recall memories. And the actress who plays the recent Doctor Who is in that one too. So if you get a chance to see that, I thought that was fantastic. And yeah,
I will watch all of them.
Yeah, the one that actually two that I really like and. See, most Black Mirror episodes, I guess this isn't really a spoiler one. I mean, you kind of, once you watch enough Black Mirror episodes, you kind of get that this is the theme that they do a lot. But, like, most Black Mirror episodes don't really have the best endings, the most happiest endings, and at the same time, a lot of the people at the end, your main characters, turn out to not really be the best kinds of people. And there's some episodes, few episodes, that actually do have happy endings. And, like, two that I really liked that I don't know if you saw, I'm probably not, but they're more romantic ones. There's one called San Junipero. Highly recommend.
I can tell you.
I think it might have been season 2 or 3. And then there's another one, Hang the DJ, I think it was called. Those two are fantastic. They're if you love romantics, with the Black Mirror style, I mean, they nailed it. They're both fantastic. And
yeah, I can get like that.
There's very few romantic ones that they did. They might have been the only 2 that they did, but
there's a really good romantic one, Todd from Breaking Bad, where he loves a girl so much that he traps a clone of her in the simulation. That's really romantic.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know the Star Trek parody?
Oh yeah. Oh, you saw that one.
Yeah, and it has Todd from Breaking Bad in it, and he's like more creepy in this somehow.
That one was like introducing the 4th season, and everything before that was a lot darker, and this was like starting to get that more comedic tone in for Black Mirror, which a lot of the pre-season 4 ones you can notice there's not as much comedy to it. It's more darker tones, and that one, for example, the Star Trek parody one, was definitely a whole lot more comedic, as well as most of the season 5 ones.
It also really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
that
just
one also left off on a happy ending too.
Yeah, they don't always. I would definitely say the other one I saw with the talent show, that was like a very like not I guess it's not as miserable as the show can go, but not a happy ending.
Talent show?
If you,
what are you talking about?
I know you said that this is something we could talk about for a whole episode, so how about
I thought you saw all the episodes, that's what I was saying. But
no, sorry.
Well, we can talk about the ones that you watched, and dive into them if you want.
We can talk about those 2 today if you want. I actually think maybe it could be cool to, like, add it to our movie segment. We don't have to do it every episode, but I could watch more Black Mirror throughout the season, and we could talk about like maybe 2 an episode.
I can delay a movie recommendation and tell you to watch San Junipero, which I personally loved.
I would say like we could do both still if you want. Like I'll just whenever I see a Black Mirror episode, I'll tell you, hey, I saw a Black Mirror episode. And we'll talk about it on the show because there's definitely a lot to talk about. The we'll start with the season 1 episode where it's like the talent show. I'll recommend Bandersnatch to you at some point this season.
That one was out of the 3 episodes of season 1. That was definitely my least favorite, but it's still good. It's just it wasn't close to the other 2 personally. There's one about some dude, some senator guy who was forced to fuck a pig. You're gonna enjoy that one. It's a crazy plot, but yeah.
Oh boy.
It's ridiculous. It might have been the very first Black Mirror episode. It might have been. I don't know. But yeah. That one, I don't know if I have much to say about. But it was interesting, yeah. I don't know what you have to say about what you thought. What do you think?
I just think the ending's the most interesting thing because it's kind of like an ambiguous ending where he kind of became everything he hated, but it's kind of mixed because one, he's not living in that. He had to become everything that he absolutely despised to get there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I remember.
That one girl doesn't even get out of like the one thing she has to do because she like goes on there to sing, but then they get her to join the porn website instead. and she's still stuck there by the end of it. I'm pretty sure. There was a lot of.
They pretty much talked her into rape, which is really dark, extremely.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Yeah, no, they talk her. They just they completely unacknowledge her good singing talents because
we are the worst people to analyze Black Mirror. Apparently, I just realized. But might as well talk about it. But yeah, we're saying very little is what I'm acknowledging that. I think it's a bad example for an episode to talk about. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I like a lot about it. I like that there's like almost like a Wii, a fucking Wii, like I guess Wii Sports feel to it, just like all these little games. And it does kind of have a bit of a sense of humor too. Like every single time he enters his room, it makes him like watch. He has to like watch something, or else he gets charged for it. Do you not remember this?
Yeah, I do. I'm thinking.
If you don't have much to say, we can move on to the other
do you
one.
think that is sort of like a good mirror of real life? Like we have to pay to just enjoy anything? It's a deep thought. I don't know, but like
it's a satire of what like a lot of society already is, but it's definitely like a version of it that's
like a topic of economics, possibly. You think
it's a sci-fi reality that is clearly poking fun at some things in actual society, but is 100% an exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
I've seen some analysis videos of some of the episodes. That one I haven't seen, listened to one yet. So there's probably a lot of missed.
I mean, it's good to watch what other people say about it, but think about it. Me and my brother watched that one and the Star Trek one, and after that, we would just kind of sit around and talk about it for a bit, like share our thoughts on it. The one girl like being talked into doing porn. Like there are instances in real life where people are encouraged to do something that they probably don't want to do with their life. A lot of people have probably been in uncomfortable situations like that. Mm. And again, like this world is an exaggerated version. You would never go on a music show, like go on American Idol and have the hosts encourage you to do porn, but like again, that's why it's an exaggeration. Women are like attractive people are encouraged to sell their bodies. Like it is encouraged on the internet. It is encouraged in like a lot of advertising. Like having a people talk about that all the time, like females' image, how like poorly it's presented in like magazines or on TV, like, and that's I think what the episode's criticizing. I mean, I think that's obvious what the episode's criticizing, but it has been a while since I've seen it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just a highly exaggerated alternate reality of what our world is. Mm-hmm. Basically everyone's doing slave labor, doing jobs they don't want to do. And there's this unavoidable media everywhere. There's this unavoidable shit that people have to deal with, like him going into his room every single night and that shit just being shoved in his face. And yeah, that's really all I got out of it. Just the Star Trek one is a lot more interesting to me just because it's a very interesting character study into the mind of this fucked up guy.
There's a lot of Black Mirror episodes where they take the human consciousness and put them into this artificial reality where because like you say your phone, there's an artificial intelligence in your phone and you're just using it for your own free will and they have no control over it and they're just kind of slaves to us. And it's kind of taking that idea, and same thing of like what this guy did in the Star Trek episodes. He takes people's consciousness and he's just a puppet master pretty much, and he's like, you will do what I say or else. I feel like there's like a lot of that talk of like and I feel like we are getting toward that, like close to like AI and stuff like that. So like there's like the talk of, do AI lives matter really? I guess like do they consider? I don't know. The Star Trek episode might not be the best example, but there's other ones.
Say the last 10 words again. Does AI life matter?
Yeah, I don't know if the Star Trek episode is the best example of it though, because like there's other Black
Mirror
episodes that make me think
because it's not AI, it's clones. Basically,
like, do their lives matter more the same as like regular ones? I don't know.
I think
if we ever got to that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something worth thinking about. For me, that one was more of just telling a straightforward, almost like horror story. Not a traditional horror story, but it's like just think about it. These people, you imagine one day you wake up and you're like being told, yeah, you're not the original Zachary and Volkman. You were cloned. You're in this machine. You're gonna do whatever the fuck this guy says because he can get rid of you if you don't. Like you're in a you're literally.
No, I even liked it where it was even darker than that. It was like you wish you were dead. Like the guy who's about to kill him, he's like, "Nah, I'll spare you." Like the guy.
And even though they have a happy ending, they have to accept the fact that any loved ones they had, any ambition that they had, is gone. They have to. Yeah, we're just gonna fly around in the spaceship now. Like that's all they have. It's like, again, it's happy because they get to screw this one guy over and they're not gonna die, but it's unhappy because it's like, shit, there goes everything.
At the same time, they are on the internet now. They have access to everything. I don't know. They could they have the whole universe. They could find something. I think there's a happy ending in that. There's some hope when there's infinite possibilities.
He puts coworkers that he wants to fuck into his machine, into his game, and it's so fucking creepy. And they just have to listen to him because they know he controls everything and he can be the end of them. And they, like, some of them do want to die, but others, like, I think the conclusion they all come to is let's just fucking die. And then the new one, because she's kind of new to it still and not as tortured as they have been, is kind of like, let's try this one thing out. Let's try this one thing out, and it works. Oh god, that guy who plays fucking, again, I forget the actor's name, but I keep calling him Todd from Breaking Bad. He's so good at playing a fucking creep.
Yeah.
I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's a good actor in both shows, but that's all I see him doing anything he's in. He's just a fucking creep.
That scene at the end when he's just yelling exit game like a child.
Well, he's yelling exit game. I actually think that's another horrifying scene. You don't feel bad for him because he deserves it, but it's just exit game, exit. He's like, he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. Oh.
You would think that technology like that would have, like, okay, once everything comes crashing and deleting itself, you would just be exited from the game. You don't have to say it. There's like some, life-saving thing to get your consciousness out of the game. Like, clearly, like, I don't know, it's like for some reason, like, he couldn't get past the firewall. I guess his mind's trapped, even though he's this genius who made this machine to clone people from DNA. I found that a bit odd, but
I don't think so. He can't do anything. His actual body is still, like, he can't control himself.
No, it's just like, it's like an automatic kicking out of the game once everything crashes. Like, that would, like, to save your life, it would make sense if that ever happened. And I don't know, but no, you die if you're asleep in the game and you forget to say exit game. Oops, you're dead. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but doesn't. But maybe, like, I mean, to be fair though, the whole thing shut down. Doesn't, like, maybe he did have something like that. Maybe he had an emergency exit, but since it was all shut down, nothing's working. I agree that there should
already in the program. In the hardware, I mean, it should be in there.
You have a valid argument there. I'd have to rewatch it.
I don't care if this is like some futuristic tech or anything. Like, we're kind of already in the future and present day, and whatever technology we come up with, with most of them, if not all of them, like, we find some, plan Bs if something goes wrong. I can't think of a good example, but like something like that can risk your own life if you're trapped in there. Should be able to save your life if everything comes crashing down. You shouldn't just kill you. Like, that's ridiculous.
I think you have a valid argument there. I think that there's a couple of things I could say back. I think it'd be easier if I actually saw the episode recently. The only thing I can say though, like, I don't know, like, I can come up with some cop-out answer, but I mean, people fuck up.
I mean, it's still a fun episode. It's just the one thing I thought,
Yeah, no, it's a
he does deserve it. The character does deserve it, but
yeah, it's a fair thing to bring up. I'd have to rewatch it before fully agreeing with you, but I can't think of anything to argue it with. So I'll say you're right. And I do also love that her way, like, her fucking plan involves leaking her own nudes.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
That actually. You didn't see this other Black Mirror episode, but it was like possibly an Easter egg, because there was a plot of another Black Mirror episode of, like, leaking someone else's information of something private about them, which if you get to, it's an episode called "Shut Up and Dance," with the kid who was in remember that mini series with the young boy and girl and End of the Fucking World, maybe I think it was called.
Yeah, End of the Fucking
The
World.
weird looking kid. He's the main character of Shut Up and Dance, and yeah, it has that plot of like some hacker is like threatening to leak some really private information about him, and he's doing anything that this hacker says through text. It's really creepy. I highly recommend that one too. But
yeah, no, check
very
it
dark
out.
ending too. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. Should I just watch them in order, or would you like to like actually like recommend me some?
There's a good handful I could recommend to you, but if you want to watch them in order from earlier seasons to recent, if you want, or yeah, there's some good ones. There's a lot of good ones. Wait, so you didn't see the Miley Cyrus one?
No.
Oh, that one I really like personally.
That one's interesting because I knew what it was making fun of, what it was like satire, and I knew it was gonna be like Hannah Montana stuff.
I noticed also the season 5 episodes are definitely longer than most regular Black Mirror episodes. They're like usually they're like close to an hour, I think, most episodes, and then this one's like over an hour. The 3 episodes from season 5, so there's a lot of time given to the characters to develop them before the main plot happens. For example, in the Ashley 2 one, yeah, a lot of time given for like the main character, the little 15-year-old girl who's from the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, it's a really fun episode in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'll check a bunch of them out.
Comedic.
I'm looking forward to them. End of the Fucking World's coming back for a second season. I still think that's a mistake.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It ended off on like such a up in the air ending.
And that's how the comic ended too. So it's like they're being disrespectful.
You might have talked about that they were.
We did. I'm pretty sure we did.
Wow.
I have a few more show notes if you want to do a speed run real quick, because I don't think we'll have much.
20 minutes about.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Eric Andre show?
No.
Okay, I'll write that one off. That show I just started watching because it was on during my vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny, but it's on Hulu and not Netflix. So, Rich Alvarez, 25-minute short film is the most ambitious thing he's ever done, apparently. Have you heard about what he's been up to?
Yeah, I watched most of that. I think one of the second update video, maybe it was like him, Chris, and Matt in a voice call.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, they're putting it in a film festival, by the way, and because of that, they're not sure if certain footage can even be made into to be put into a trailer because film festival property and all that. I'm encouraging them. I mean, might as well. I mean, there's like
them too. I want them to do well. I'm encouraging them too. I want them to do well. Richie's first update. I just have. I don't know. It's hard for me not to be cynical.
It's Matt's script and with Richie's, asking Richie to help out with it, and
yeah.
It should be. I mean, it's better than doing nothing and better than doing a Mario-related thing, and I'm glad they have this passion into it. That they talked about in the update video. I mean, they're really proud of it. They're really happy how it's going, and they're taking time into it, and hopefully it's not anything like the clicking noise.
Yeah. Did you see? Did they ever? Richie brought it up in his first update video. I didn't watch the second one. I know Matt and Chris didn't watch it. Richie mentioned, and I felt a little sad hearing this, but I don't really agree with him on his reasoning with this. I understand that he's an adult and he's married, and I understand there's all these responsibilities. But he's saying that this is like basically his last chance, and after this, he thinks he has to quit. And I was sad to hear that. I know I've poked fun of him, but I'm sad to hear that. He's
basically quit with doing he's done it in the past too, and he's bringing it back recently with the short live stream of a topic of a current topic instead of just recording a video and editing it well. You have this webcam quality thing with a really ugly Rich Alvarez custom banner thing around your webcam, and it just doesn't look good. And you're surprised that you're not doing that well.
I think he has a tendency, this is going a little off topic, he just has this tendency to where, like, I can give him credit for something and then he takes it away. Mm-hmm. Because he got to be in a Rolling Stones interview recently, and I thought that was awesome. Like, that's so fucking cool. He did the awesome thing.
It was for some, like, nostalgic thing.
For also, I think that's really, it's Rolling Stone, that's really cool. But But then he makes a video where he's saying, yeah, everyone's saying that we started the All-Star meme. I don't know about that, but people are saying,
And he
no
goes
one's
into
saying
this whole thing and like, oh, this actually was made before this with some other thing, and it's like, who cares?
yeah, I don't
Making a big deal out of such a
I
small
have
thing.
no
Don't
issue
grow
with
your
that.
ego out of it.
No one said he started the All-Star meme. Maybe like one or two like really diehard fans said he
You know what I heard from that about that music
created that
video,
meme.
by the way? True story. You want to hear what I heard about that music video? I might have told you this long ago. When my sister was in high school,
Yep, you said it in the
in her film class or media class, her teacher showed it to the class as an example of like a parody of a music video of like what not to do, or something like just a really embarrassing thing just to make his class laugh at the people in the video. It was just that it wasn't anything to praise over. You know, is what I'm trying to say.
Like, just holding her teacher's
and my sister told me this. Hey, these are those guys you watch on YouTube. My teacher showed me this, and like really embarrassing. Good thing my sister didn't tell anyone that I watched this stuff. But like, yeah, it was like, I don't know, made me feel like okay. During a time when I liked Rich Alvarez a whole lot more.
It's so all that stuff is so cringy but so enjoyable too. It's like I will always love it. But I just imagine a teacher for teacher stick pointing at the TV saying, see this, look how stupid they look how embarrassing this is really dumb. It's like the teacher's comment.
I don't even know the context of why he showed them it, but that must have been fun. Yeah.
Maybe she donated to the Rich Alvarez movie and the Super Mario Bros. Movie and they misspelled her name in the credits. Or maybe she, I don't know. Who knows?
But anyway, I just find that weird that I just find it weird that Richie is, I don't know. It's just,
I think
it's more to just it's to advertise for the article is what it is. But like they made it longer than it had to be. It didn't even need to really be a video. But I mean, I guess it's kind to like the writers behind the article. It's getting their name out there and maybe being like, hey, we got our audience, here you go, a little collaboration. But they went on for more about their own stuff and how great their ideas are. It was just a very narcissistic kind of patting on the back thing. That was, I don't know, not undeserved, but just unnecessary.
My gripe with it is just like I don't think that they needed to make a video. Maybe and if you want to up like doing your little live stream saying, oh yeah, there was a Rolling Stone article, by the way, guys, if you want to like read that. But it's like making a whole video about it seemed unnecessary. But I also just think like you didn't make the meme. I know that's something you're trying. You even said I don't. Like he even said I don't.
Might as well make a video about saying, hey, there's these nice people that interview us for Rolling Stones. That's pretty cool. Give them a shout out. Maybe read some of their other articles. Don't make it so much about, hey, we did this. All these people saying we did this. And, like, don't make it about that.
It might be petty for me to talk about this. It might be petty to get like so worked up about it. It's just like you didn't, and nobody is saying that you did. Shrek created the All-Star meme. That's why, because Shrek became a meme, and then All-Star became a meme. You made this years before it became a meme because All-Star parodies did exist back then. I made that stupid fucking video years ago. I don't know.
Is he saying like the Shrek memes of that song started after his music video, and that's what encouraged that? Is what he's saying? I think that's what he meant.
He's saying that's what other people are saying because he didn't want to say it himself. But no, that's not even what other people are saying. I made a video. I remember you talked about this like a long time ago. I don't know if you remember this. It's a shitty video, by the way. I'm not gloating about this. Where it was I mixed a bunch of all-star parodies together because there were so fucking many of them. This was before the meme, by the way. This is because it was just a common thing to do a parody of. And there was like 10 different versions, and I merged them together so it played the whole song but kept cutting for the different parodies. And really, it was just me stealing a bunch of work to make a small video. I was 15 at the time, so I'm not that ashamed of it. But I used the Rich Alvarez one, but I also used like 10 others that came out, some before his and some after his, but all before the Shrek meme. So I'm just saying, you didn't fucking start that, Richie. Calm down. I don't know. That was probably a pointless rant, but Richie, I'm supporting your new movie. I'm gonna give you money for it, but fucking
how much?
Fucking, you know what? You could still make stuff if you wanted to. All right, make films. There's people out there with no audience. I've worked with people who are a lot older than you that have regular jobs, and they take time one weekend to film. And they do it because they're passionate about it, not because they need a big YouTube audience for it.
Is it harsh? Is it harsh to say that it says a lot that it was Matt's script originally, and Richie just has no ideas, and he's even leeching off of like what he can
Well, no,
get his hands on.
no, because Matt made
To
up.
be
I don't know if you
creative
saw
again.
Matt. Matt was making videos on this channel months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still subscribed to his channel. Matt came off a lot more, in my opinion, a lot more sincere. I like Matt. I'm not interested in the movie. I'm going to support them because I've been a fan of them for so long. I should say more of a critic lately, but I don't know. It's stupid. I'm going to give them money for it because I've made so much. I've made so much from what they've done. Not monetization wise,
Okay.
but just from like topics and friendships and discussions and all of that. So I'm going to support them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it doesn't sound that interesting to me. It's a 20-minute short film, which is going to be a fantasy, which they're not going to be able to tell a grand story in 20 minutes.
I was just saying before about Richie. Like I'm just talking about like projects even before this. Like why not doing anything else? Just to spread your creative muscle and like I don't know. I'm just saying like this opportunity that he's getting is his excuse to actually flex it when I feel like he hasn't really tried. Again, like just doing these live streams about, hey, this movie's been announced. Let's talk about it for 7 minutes.
My argument, though, is that Matt from the very beginning was saying he wanted Richie to help him with it, and he was going to give.
I get that, but it's like even before that, if that never happened or anything, would Richie just give up like that again? Like, why is it now that's getting Richie to think about that now? Like, oh, I just needed that one last project. Thanks, Matt, for giving me this opportunity to say, hey, this is my last project, possibly. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like Richie subconsciously is trying to verbally say out loud and even to his audience, oh god, God, that's so distracting. I'm like losing my train of thought now.
It wasn't supposed to go off yet.
Turn it back on. Imagine it didn't even happen. But
he'll be here in 1 minute.
Gotcha. What was I saying? Can you remind me what I was saying?
You were saying we were talking about Matt, like handing it over to Richie, and Richie kind of gloating about it, like this thing that Matt made. I don't know.
God, I was making a point. I forget now. Thanks.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to. I actually didn't mean to. My mouth, like I said, I would move my mouth.
I was so close. I was actually so close to say it. Oh well.
All right, should we let him come in now?
Yeah. Hey, I'm just chilling out here and drinking my water.
Hey, little cuz.
Look who it is.
Oh. Hey, he's not killing me this time. He's actually just gonna let me hang out this time. That's right, little cuz.
I wonder if the lore of this season is that you're immortal.
Oh no, man. I don't think anything.
Ungrounded
like
character, not relatable enough.
Oh man. So
you're on here because you're a movie buff and you're recently this season trying to be a movie reviewer and saying, hey, this is the next big movie I saw with Tito Fashion to review it. What are your words in your own words about anything you can think of that you saw recently, Tito?
Like a movie.
Yeah, you're like that quirky fat movie reviewer guest on a talk show. That's the biggest example of a parody I can think of for you right now. You really have no purpose other than that.
I saw Detective Pikachu.
Yep.
I rented it off of like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't care for it at all. You know what, Tito? I actually opinion on Detective Pikachu's actually worsened over time. Yeah, man. It's pretty bad. Just relies on nostalgia. Wow. I've been rewatching the old anime, and it's just so much. It's stupid as fuck, but it's better.
That is true. I would agree with that.
I've been watching. My cousins fucking got me on it, even though I haven't watched it in fucking years, and I forgot. Such a fucking nostalgic ride. I fucking missed that shit. It's so fucking stupid, but I love it. Yeah, little cuz. I also saw that one movie. What's it called?
Movie.
It was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino.
I have not seen that yet, so don't say nothing.
Let me, dude. It's
I'm hearing some controversial things. I don't know exactly something about Bruce Lee, but I don't know.
People are just fucking.
Is this so good generally?
It's just because they showed a foot or something. I don't fucking know. Okay. I don't think that's what it is, Tito. You shut the fuck up, you fat cunt. I'll fucking fucking throw you fucking piece of fucking shit. Fuck
this is
you.
rated R already. We said retarded earlier, or Mike did, and now you're saying cunt.
What did he
Does that,
say?
does that... He said cunt. He called you a cunt just now.
He called me a cunt. I didn't hear that.
Maybe.
I missed
Okay,
that.
well then I just said it a few times now, so... Does
There we go.
does that word boost it to R-rated? I'm pretty sure it does. It's like the same thing as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how stuff like that works.
Anyways, I'm supposed to warn you about the fancy sins. How many were there again? Yeah, that's right.
No.
Fancy sins.
Well, no.
Yeah, there was like
God.
we met Zaclium and Chrislium.
There's no Mycelium yet. I don't think
we haven't met Mycelium. Yeah, let me. I have notes. I'm sorry. I was supposed to come in here.
Notes.
And then you asked me about fucking movies. Where's my fucking notes? Okay, it's labeled DuckCast Cinematic Universe. Let me see this.
Cinematic is the wrong word to use. Just so you know, I don't think
there's
you really.
11.
I don't think you graduated from high school. I'm getting that feeling.
There's only 4. Okay, so there's 11 Fancy Sin brothers.
That's
only
disconcerting.
Only 4 of them are listed. We got Zaclium Fancy Son, Chrislium Fancy Son, Mycelium Fancy Son, and what the fuck? That. Oh yeah, that's what. Cut that part out. That's
I'm not editing that out. That was too funny.
That says. Yeah, that's weird, Tito.
Liamson.
That no, Zach, it's Titilium Fancy Son. And okay, there's a note here.
Yeah.
Tito appearance near end of episode 81. Tito talks for a bit and then dies by the hands of Titilium Fancy Son.
You just spoiled your own ending.
I don't.
Does that?
He had something just went through his neck. He is all over the wall. That is fucking gross.
I was going to say if this was going to happen like later on in the season, then it's like, what's the point of watching the rest of the season? But the fact that it happens now on a cliffhanger, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well,
also,
I don't.
Also, very sad. We should hold a funeral at some point.
Yeah, it's a sad death. That's another tragic.
You
death.
can take off your Tito mask now.
Hello,
by the way.
Zacharia and Miguel.
That sounds nothing. It's the opposite of Tito. I get it. It's like very much more fancy.
Fancy Son.
Yeah.
And I have murdered.
Yeah.
My alter ego, just like we will to the rest of you. How does that sound? Big
I call bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know though. Tito looks pretty dead, but he's kind of done the same thing to me a bunch of times, so I'm not really convinced he'll be gone forever.
Yeah.
That would suck though. I mean, it wouldn't even Tito didn't even start off on the show. He started off on your show.
Yeah.
I like how the show is like just a genuine discussion between 2 friends, and then it becomes really autistic. Shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit. I'll fucking slit your throat, you cunt.
Waves fist in air angrily.
Okay, I heard cunt that time. Anyways, enjoy the remainder of the season. We'll keep you guys around until 100.
Yeah, fuck you. You're not that terrifying, man.
Yeah, I didn't like him. I don't like the voice. That might change.
Yeah, he seems kind of full of himself. Cameo.
Well, that just happened.
Yeah. Barry, Neum, Fancy Son, possibly. Or Barry.
He left me.
Actually, Barry.
He left me.
Good terms now?
I think so. Yeah, he just showed up.
He just showed up. He's not really saying much. Didn't really
well, I mean,
say much in the first place.
I smashed him in the last one, right?
In the season 2 finale, yes.
Yeah, but even a little bit before that. This one's like perfect.
Yeah.
That's
so then
weird.
it can't be Barry.
He didn't talk in the old ones, did he?
I don't. No. But his aura said enough. His presence said enough. I meant.
What if this is his evil twin? Actually, what if he's like
What if he's
Man.
not really there? There's a camera inside his skull watching all of what we're saying, listening to what we're saying as well, and it's just a whole thing. He's not.
Well,
he's
he's fucking broken now. Because there's no opening to put beans in, so how can he even be the bean boozler? It's fucking gay, man.
Barry
I don't know.
Bonner,
It smells like him. Dude, it was so much easier to carry him on my shoulder when he was like partially broken.
Yeah. This ending went in so many directions.
I feel like the episode was better before we tried.
I feel like
Hey, can I do a closing segment? I want to do a closing segment on the show.
We had 2 so far, but go ahead with the third. Third time's the charm.
I didn't say they were
Knock it out of the
closing
park.
segments. Oh, you fucking dick.
It's practically the end, though.
Yeah, I didn't like the Teetlium voice. That might change. Hi, Boner. You wanna stay there? All right.
I'm not fully convinced that that's actually Barry.
I think he is. I don't know. It just took him a while to regenerate. Okay, so I have a random question generator. We're going to end every episode for a random question.
We also got to do movie recommendations after this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What movie scene choked you up the most? So made you cry? I don't know.
The most recent one was the Tony's death in Avengers Endgame. Spoilers.
Yeah. I liked the ending of Chum Scrubber and the Green Mile, like a bunch of scenes in Green Mile. Those are 2 good ones. I'll stick to those 2 answers. I guess if you want a single one, the ending of Chum Scrubber was heavy. Anyway, movie suggestions. So
during a movie, what a baby.
Yeah, I have 2. I had 2 short films. If you were down to do it, not like the animated ones. I think there's a decent amount to say with both of them, but they're both short.
You want me just to watch one?
I mean, do you want? If you would rather just do one, but they're both kind of short.
We'll just do one. Why not?
Okay. All right. Well, did you see the iDubbbz documentary Full Force?
Yes, I love
it. Okay.
So
I can't
great.
do that one then.
He should do more of those. He's a really good document. I learned about it. I saw it on my subscriptions and I ignored it. And I saw this Jax Films video where he's doing like this award show thing, and at the very end, he did an award for surprising documentarian, and he talked about the iDubbbz thing, and I didn't even know it was a documentary, which got me interested. It's like, oh, iDubbbz doing a documentary. That's awesome. So I watched that.
I loved it. Uncle Dane uploaded a video to his Twitter. He was.
When I saw Uncle Dane in that, that was great.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
It was a video of just saying, it was just like a little extra clip, and it was him and Mike in a car, and he said, "Mike, can you start a fire for us?" And just before he even finishes a sentence, he's like, "Yeah," and gets up. I loved him. I loved frickin' Mike. Such a loyal.
Mike doing
friend.
Mike things in that one segment.
Mike doing his own thing, just on his knees.
I love at the end, what was it? One has this, one is fat. And it just ends
some of us have demons, some of us have fat.
And that's that. I was actually laughing out loud at that point. It was actually great.
All right, my other one is also with the assistance. I think Uncle Dane filmed and edited it, but it's Hammer Boys by Austin Stevenson.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. That's right.
So that one's pretty short, but it's still again.
Is that on Whatever We Want?
Yeah. That's I haven't seen Love Spoons, but that's the one I actually did see.
Love Spoons is good. I like that one.
What's your recommendation?
Right. I don't think I should recommend a Black Mirror episode, even though I would really like to. But
I can do Black Mirror. We can keep those separate.
Okay. Have you ever seen? I've been watching a lot of Quentin Tarantino recently.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen The Hateful Eight?
No, and there is a series. It's been put into 4 episodes now on Netflix.
The thing is chapters. Don't watch the extended version. That's the thing you're talking about. The extended version adds so little. I saw the extended after the original. The extended adds literally nothing. Well, not literally nothing, but very, very little that doesn't even add anything. Just watch the original thing that's in the movie form. It's in chapters still. Just watch it.
But does it ruin anything you want to talk about if I watch all 4 of those?
It's just the same thing with very little added, but it's like I feel like the movie version is just better. They don't add these unnecessary things to it.
I don't know. A lot of people
Just watch
recommended
the movie
that.
version.
I
The
kind of want
extended
to watch
version
that.
is pointless. It's so pointless. There's even
Well,
a
why? I
random
like it
joke
being
added to it. It's like
I kind of like it being put in chapters because of how long it is, and I also just
it's the
like.
same length pretty much. Again,
No, it
like
isn't.
the
It's like
extended
extra
version is
hours.
just slightly longer because of the added stuff. That's why it's called the extended version.
What is it? I just don't know why you care if I watch the longer version.
Because it's just dumb. It's unnecessary, and I don't want
I wouldn't
people to go to.
I won't criticize it for having extra shit in it if I dislike it for
It's
that.
just I
'cause
don't
you
know.
know,
I just want to. I'm like criticizing the people possibly listening and saying, "Why'd you even make this a thing?" It's just
I
unnecessary.
don't know. I heard good things about it. I kind of wanted to watch it that way.
Hateful Eight's great. Yeah, just don't watch the extended because it's.
But I heard good things about the extended version specifically.
Also,
Why can't I watch it?
I think they reorganized something in the third or fourth one that in the original it's just I don't know, it's laid out better. Yeah, I think that's a good one to add right there. A good critique of why you should watch the original version.
Okay.
It's organized better. Yeah. Hecker.
I should be able to watch it the way I want to watch it, or whatever.
It's just dumb. I'm letting you know I'm helping you out here.
Oh, you're
Take
helping me
care.
out. Give me a good old pat on the back. I'm gonna replace you with Boner. Fuck you. Go away.
He doesn't even want to stay on your shoulder or head or anything. He just
It
rolls.
was
He's not
easier when
really.
I had more hair.
Yeah. He's socially awkward, Barry. He just doesn't really want to be there the whole time. He just rolls
You're
off.
the one who didn't want the moose. Frick you.
The moose is dumb. Heck you.
Heck you. Go to heck.
You.
Yeah.
Hecker.
Go to heck. Yeah, frickin' hecker. Should have said you heckin' hecker. Damn it.
Now on my Christian Minecraft server, buddy.
You said the
You're
word
banned.
cunt a bunch of times.
Hmm?
All four of us said the word cunt.
It's great. Great time to be alive. We should say more this season on DuckCast. Let's end it.
Go away.
Okay.
Bye.
Alright.